aware that this is the closing session for the training program that we had conducted for this year, and we had a elaborate 3 months, almost 4 months long program wherein all students had done a all teachers had done a workshop, project work, and Karishma had been very kind to guide them through. So this is the final session wherein we are announcing, as in the people who've done a good job. All of you who participated obviously did an excellent job, but we've selected a few out of those, and I'm just going to display the names. So let me just share my screen with you. So we are awarding a certificate of merit who have the people who've done a little elevated work than the rest of the people or rest of the teachers, and we'll be awarding this certificate. And the people who are getting this certificate are Siddharth from Bhubaneswar, Suparna from Chennai, Sneha from Gurgaon, Suchitra, Vijay, Ami, and Nitika. I'm sure you can all see your names on the screen. And those who have completed the workshop, uh, they'll be getting this certificate, and that's a pretty good number for fashion. So I'm not going to read out the numbers. You can just read it on the screen, and we'll be sending out certificates once we have all of them printed and ready. Fine. And this is the second screen. So I'm sure you all know whoever has finished the project, they would themselves know whatever work they've done, and if they've completed it or not. So these are the people who will be receiving the certificate for completion. Fine. So I'm going to stop sharing, and I'm going to hand over to ma'am if she has something to share with all of you.
Hello?
Yeah. Anju ma'am.
So who's starting with the first?
I'm just asking Anju ma'am to say a few.
Yeah. I couldn't hear you. Yeah.
Before we start this, thank you everybody for being there. Those who were with us constantly, but if those people who couldn't be with us, I think it's their loss, because our endeavor is like, we want that everybody should be. It was nothing that we were probably ये था कि जब कर रहे हैं ना, जब आप सुन रहे होते हो तो you matter to talk. Saying yes, that initially पहले क्या होता था कि we had this contact with the students, so there were a lot of activities keeping them involved. But now, since we are in reality, we are talking virtual, we need to have content. Not that we should be knowing the right, and there's too much. Everybody knows everything. Like students are in connect with each other, and we all need. There's a process, and believe a lot of people, though knowing how to reach the final stage, still are still unaware about the process. So it was a little sad to see the presence of faculty wasn't with that much of enthusiasm. I don't know why, but जो भी पढ़ रहे थे, I think they must have learned some, did not. It was a little bizarre. But anyways, we was nice. And I thank Karishma for putting so much of effort and giving us this, information and all that. And all I can say is that we have given for the teacher, right? But not that or something, but just that I just wanted to honor those people who actually put a lot of day and finish the work, right? So, and rest, let's see how it happens and how you put it on. And those people who have just kept their names on the screen, I would like when you're being talked to, जब presentation चल रहा हो, तो you can always put, when we are in conversation with each other, you should put your video on, right? At least we feel that there are people who are looking and listening to you. But if you just put your name, it's a little not so good, right? So I'm in general, I'm telling, when even you have your classes and all that, you wouldn't want that names on the screen. It's general, right? So in case Karishma is talking or Jasween is talking, so please put your video on. It's a little not so good when we see this the names, huh? And when you have your presentation on, So you could just like keep your names. It's okay for us, right? So all right, just Karishma, it's over to you.
Yeah. So I think we'll just jump right in and start off with at least the first 3 presentations that are possible from the ones from our list. So I think in any order that you guys want to. Jasmine, who goes first? You're on mute.
I'm here. Can I
Hi,
start?
Siddharth. Yes, you can start.
Siddharth from Bhubaneswar.
Yeah.
I'll just repeat the name so everybody's prepared. Yes, after Siddharth, there is Suparna, and then there is Sneha from Gurgaon. And if
Yeah.
we have time, then it will be Suchitra from
Correct.
Raipur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you only have 10 minutes. Okay. So in 10 minutes, get your point across.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We need to keep the time schedule. Don't
Yeah.
make it too long, otherwise we won't be able to hear it from
So then
Karishma.
even Sucharita can actually get a chance to talk. Okay.
Is the screen visible?
Yeah, it is Siddharth. Very
And am I audible?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So I just want to thank Anju, Jasmine, and Karishma for being with us through and helping us with this program. It has really helped us enhance our creative thinking and provided us with a methodology that we can use for teaching. I'm going to, everyone knows about the design project, so I'm going to directly go to my work. So when we were asked to do this project, I initially started working on the word movement, because personally it's very close to me. I'm a dancer and I've been into the dance industry for a very long time. So what interests me is movement and the cause and effects of movement. So when I was thinking about it, I came across all these words. I jotted down all these words related to movement that happens in stillness, continuous movement, and various kinds of lines and forms and structures that movement gives, like linear lines, spiral lines, zigzag, circular, and also various kinds of emotions and feelings involved with movement, like the feeling of freedom, self-expression, etc., etc. And then I go over to my mind mapping, from where I highlighted the words particularly that I wanted to work with. And then I started finding reference pictures related to those words. As you can see here on the above row, there are dancers dancing. So it's about the way their body moves, and also the way the fabric or the garment that they're wearing moves along with them, creating shapes and forms. And then on the second row, you can see pleats, lines, various kinds of folds, which also again talk about movement. Here again, I start talking about lines and the way the lines move, and continuous lines, the art form that you do with continuous line. And then there's a painting of Van Gogh which talks about strokes and shows direction, which is also related to movement. And then there's time. And this slide talks about movement in nature. So you can see jellyfish, you can see a school of tiny fish in water who move together when a big fish is trying to attack. Then you see the wings of bird. You see the way the tiny little plant is opening up in the sun ray. It all sort of gives you a feeling of movement. The movement of wind, which you can see through the fabrics moving, the movement created in the water. The black and white picture is the movement that happens in your mind. Though you're still, there's a lot of movement of your blood, movement of molecules and atoms, and your mind constantly moving. So from there, I go to the inspiration stage. In the inspiration stage, we were first asked to work on studying trends. So while I was studying trends also, I had to make sure that I pick up trends that I could see movement in, or I could see a scope of working with the idea of movement. And that is why the first one is imperfection, because I could relate it to the way the movement, which is not always consistent. Your body could be moving at various speeds, and that is how I related it to imperfection. And then there's boho, which talks about layering, which talks about lightweight, airy, breathable fabrics. There are long dresses. And the fourth one, which is fluid. Fluid is a word that immediately connects you with movement because of the way movement happens in water, or liquid color moves on surface. So this gave me a direction that I can possibly use these techniques of shibori or tie and dye or dip dye in my collection. Moving on, these are the next 4 trends which talk about technology and craft, which is very relevant today. And so I thought this could be used, using technical fabrics and handcrafted methods. Then there's earthy. I constantly think that, movement is a very organic form. A child learns to move or run or jump. So, the day he's born, no one really teaches him. And that is why I thought that is very organic, just like the earthy trend. And then there's serenity, which again you will see in my collection eventually. And then there's tea, because I liked the images that are formed here, which kind of I could relate to movement. Um, Moving on, we had to do designer research. While researching on designers, I wanted to pick up collections or designers where I could see some of my keywords, or I could see a reflection of ideas that were constantly hovering above my mind. And so I picked up these collections of Miyake, Loewe, Balma, Thom Browne, YSL, where you see that these clothes are not structured, but they're away from the body and they create geometrical shapes, but they allow you to move. And that was one of my basic intention behind doing this collection. These garments talk more about structure, but there's a lot of layering, there are a lot of nudes and pastels, which I again connect to movement. And so though my idea was not to see whether a garment is structured or a garment is not structured, my idea was to see movement irrespective of what the silhouette is. So I was trying to find movements through all these silhouettes, and here I've tried to see movement through the surface ornamentation techniques. So you can see dip dyeing, tie dye, shibori, etc., etc. And then I thought this slide would be very relevant. While I was researching, I found articles which was talking about kimono making it big in the future, and kimono becoming a very global trend. And so, eventually you start seeing t-shirts with kimono inspiration, you start seeing evening wear with kimono inspiration. And so kimono stayed in my mind as an idea, which you will see happening further. Moving on, we had to then streamline our words and to start talking about words which we could start picturizing for our inspiration. So here you can see the words that I will eventually be working on: fluidity, light, nudes and pastels, dramatic, soulful, etc. Gender neutral, yes, I particularly want to talk about gender neutral because I related instantly with movement, because movement does not really have any gender. Whether you're doing sports or you're doing dance or you're doing theater, the way a boy moves is the way a girl moves. So there's no real gender in movement. And that is why I thought gender neutral is a very important element in my collection. And then I move on to the images of my inspiration. Here you can see these very, very popular dancers called Isadora Duncan, Martha Graham, Pina Bausch. They have been humongous sources of inspiration for me. Reason being, their practice has always been to move away from the rigidities of classical ballet or classical dance forms. And that is what you may see eventually in my collection. I wanted to move away from the rigidities of conventional ways of making garment, namely the kimono. Here you will see reflections of gender neutrality in the way the men are wearing skirts and there is transparent fabric. You see movement in the way the hair is moving. And this particular image where about the hair gave me an idea that I could probably use fringes in my collection, which I will be incorporating later. And then these pictures talk about movement in all the natural life forms and natural elements. So you see transparency, translucency, ruffled kind of movements in the jellyfish, flower, etc. Same thing here. And then these pictures I wanted to put because kimono is supposed to be, is pictured as a very formal kind of an outfit, which a lot of people cannot necessarily imagine movement in. So I wanted to put pictures of kimono where a dancer or a martial artist is moving, so that it justifies my work later. So you'll see a lot of movement happening in kimono. And then here I've put pictures of shibori and natural dyeing because I had reference pictures earlier which was talking about lines, and I was constantly thinking of how would I incorporate lines in my collection. And shibori looked the most appropriate to me because again shibori also comes from Japan, so I see that connection with kimono happening, and that is why you'll see shibori and natural dyeing in my collection. This is where I talk about my collection. The note talks about my chief sources of inspiration, which you saw is Dora Duncan, Martha Graham, Pina Bosch, etc. And all the elements that my collection has, like drama, theatrics, a lot of free flow, and the permission for the body to move around in that kind of outfit. And I've also mentioned that this could probably appeal to a mass which is into creative fields, probably theater people, artists, writers, or dancers, performing artists, etc. Then we move on to the design development stage. In the design development stage, our first step was to work on color palette. We were supposed to work on various different kinds of color palettes before freezing the final one. Like my keywords have already spoken before about nudes and pastels, gender neutrality, light, airy, and these are the colors that I relate to those words. And the reason I've put it in various proportions is because I initially felt that I could use white in that particular proportion and brown in that particular proportion. So accordingly, I've kept various different color palettes according to the proportion that I thought I could use. So here are the various different color palettes. Then the next stage was to work on fabrics. First I started reading about fabrics being talked about in the forecast, and I picked up those fabrics which I felt were relevant to my collection. So the fabrics would be handmade, eco-dyed, ombre, pastel shades, simple cottons, basic cottons, lightweight fabrics, etc. And then these are the basic fabrics which I initially thought I would use. So there's cotton voile, there's viscose rayon, there's hemp, there's silk organza, there's single jersey knit. And then I started experimenting with fabrics a lot. So you will see various different ways of incorporating lines and movement, and various different forms like spiral, circular, which I related to movement. So my idea was to see various ways of incorporating the same idea. So I tried shibori and tie and dye, which are here on organzas and cotton voiles and single jersey knits. And then I tried rust dyeing to try and achieve the same kind of line sand effect. Then I tried hand painting, and then I tried fabric manipulation. Here I try to sandwich fabrics and sandwich yarns and show movement in them. And then there are fringes and faggoting. Then there are solids. And then I went on to the design development stage, which were just initial ideas, which later would be modified and would come to my illustration. So here I tried to work on various different ways of working with kimono. Now kimono, as we know, does not really have pleats and gathers. So my idea was to contemporize kimono and add pleats and gathers, because pleats and gathers went with my collection and with my keywords. Try to incorporate fringes and faggoting in them, and there's a lot of layering because of because I wanted to add transparency, etc. Yeah, so basically, trying to see the possibility of kimono being a shirt, the possibility of kimono being a gown, the possibility of kimono being a dress, the possibility of kimono being a jacket. And then eventually they all get modified, because again, from design development, I go ahead to the stage where I finally make my modifications and achieve my final designs. This is the finalization stage. Oh, I'm really, really sorry. I think one of the pictures is missing. So anyways, my inspiration board here talks about the words that were there in my research, and all these pictures have come from my research bank only. So it talks about, again, gender neutrality, lines, movement, kimono, freedom, transparency, etc. this was my final color palette, where I decided to remove white, because when I was working with white, it became very stark. And second reason being, when I was trying to layer layer two different organzas, you could not see white anymore. It would turn into a gray. And that's why I thought of having that color in my palette. So this was my final color palette. And then these were my final fabrics, which I froze on. I did some many fabric manipulations and experimentations, and from them I froze on these ones. Then this is my variation lineup. Now, variation lineup was a step ahead of my design development. Design development were my initial ideas, and then I started working on them, modifying them, adding things, subtracting things, doing permutations and combinations, and these were what I came up with. And you can see the incorporation of fringes and pleats at various different places. And then these are my final designs. And that's about it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Siddharth. Thank you for sharing it with us.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Illustrations are looking very nice.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I did it on PicsArt, by the way.
Oh, really good. Well done.
Yeah, I had no access to Corel or Illustrator because I was locked down in the city, so I had to put on Corel on PicsArt.
Whatever works, whatever works.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, the next person is?
Next person is Suparna from Chennai. Suparna, you here? Yeah. Okay. Suparna, you can start whenever you're ready.
Ma'am, sorry, I didn't realize it was on mute.
Okay. No, we can see your screen. Yeah. So you can
okay. Yes, ma'am. So I was saying good evening, one and all. I'm Suparna, and I'm from INFT Chennai. So and I'm specialized in illustration, design process, and draping. So before I begin with my design process, I would like to thank INFT for creating such a platform and such a huge opportunity for all of us. Also, I would like to thank Jasmine ma'am, Anju ma'am, and Farida ma'am, and special thanks to Karishma, because your mentorship has really helped us to rediscover our designing skills. So now I'm happy to share my design process. So it's been 2 years since I have moved to Chennai, but still it fascinates me, it interests me. Every day I'm learning something or the other new about Chennai. So that was the prime reason why I have chosen Chennai as my inspiration. So if you see my brainstorming, I have done in a way as an outsider. How does Chennai appeal to me? So I have done a research on different aspects in culture, in architecture, whatever were the major attractions, in short. So while doing this, yes, I got a huge data. Yes, there was a little bit of confusion because I found out a new thing, that was they were having flashes and contrast. So what do I mean by contrast? I'll explain. That was if they are talking about culture, they had smooth, if you're talking about music basically. So if they have smooth music like Carnatic, on the same point, they had this loud band music also. And the same thing applies for their, cultures where like a dance form also. They have loud dance form and also Bharatnatyam, which is like very graceful and all. The same way, even their architecture. So if you think, look about your temples, their temples and the architectures, they are very loud, not loud, very intricately detailed in outside also and inside also. But if you look at their home, it's very simple. It's like full minimalistic. So I was finding these clashes. So which was further, these clashes. Yes, I had a lot of data. I was little confused, but this visual brainstorming helped me a lot. There I have again jotted down the pictures which I felt was connected to Chennai. Then different temples around the Chennai that attracted me. Then coffee is a special thing in when it comes to Chennai people, right? Because their day starts with that. They call it as coffee. And they had this beautiful column structure, which is very different from the rangoli that we have in North India. Then this Bharatnatyam. So sorry. Yeah, and the drapes, or how Tamil Brahmin, how they drape, that is totally different from the normal sari, and the floral arrangements. Again, so then the I did all. I have collected all the visual pictures, which I felt that would be helpful connecting me with Chennai. So after this process, I got one more point that was structural fluidity. I can see a structure, not geometrical, but a structure in everything. So I found out not only in architecture, even in the case of Kolam, even in the case of their temple, if you see, it's not very flowy. The murals and all are still structured. That that forms, pillars, and everything is very structured, calculative. Even their drapes, when it comes to Bharatanatyam. So I understood that I need to do something with boxy silhouettes, something with structure fluidity, and something to do with contrast. So I focused on trends like deconstructed look, tired look, then statement sleeves because the temple structures were there. Then global definitely because I wanted to infuse this Chennai thing with international future trend. Then layering was also again coming in, oversized look. Then I did my designer research. If you see, I have not been specific. I have not targeted any specific designer or a set of designer. It was basically all the silhouettes that I felt that I can connect it with. I have chosen all those. Then further writing down these keywords has literally helped me to get my final theme, where I have written like silhouettes are going to be from the architecture. Then the intricate details is something which I need to work on, which was fascinating. Then the drapes of Bharatanatyam, not only the drapes of their costume, but also their poses. Then and I was also influenced by the motifs that they had in the temples. Then all these things that then I also have the pastel colors, pastel pops they had. So these were the initial pictures. So you can see it's all mix of the temples, architectures, and Bharatanatyam and their poses. So these were the initials. So with this, I was like more refined, and I came up with the name Inherit Natya. So Inherit the heritage, and Natya is from the Bharatanatyam, the mixture of structure and fluidity. Then we started working on color scheme. Yeah, over here, actually, Karishma has helped me a lot in this because I was a little confused because I felt it would be too much loud altogether. So initially I had taken nice pastel colors where she helped me to make sure that I'm sticking with my theme. So I redeveloped my color story, and I have used pastel pops using those particular picture, and I have reworked on my color story. Then we had these fabrics. Now, why I have chosen fabric because I knew I need something which was stiff. So that is where organza came in. Batiste and lawn, I needed something a little shiny and also an opaque kind of a fabric. Twill, I was a little doubtful, which later on I have changed. Then moving to silhouettes, since I was very fascinated with the shapes and the peak falling, I have reworked on that particular shapes in different body forms. I have applied it in different areas so that I can rework on the silhouettes. So this was initial, whichever I felt that can be reworked, I have worked on those particular pictures. Yeah. And
I think we lost her.
Yeah, it seems that way. No, but she's still here.
yes, yeah,
But
just a second.
Back.
Something happened. Just a second. I'll just reshare. So I was working again on the silhouettes. Once I got the idea about the pleats and everything, I started rearranging them and started forming silhouettes. As you can see over here, I have taken exterior of the temple and I have mixed with the Bharatanatyam top drape and I have shifted every pleat. Over here, I felt yes, I need some new fabric. Where Karishma also helped me out. You can go with the other fabrics too. So I chose a knit rather than twill, which actually helped me to further do the design process. Over here, I was working on the sleeve. Then I was working on the exaggeration, how and all I can develop the silhouettes. And also I was working with the styling part where I can relate it with the gajra and that kind of an effect for the Chennai. And the brooch and everything. And then I have worked in the surface embellishment. I didn't wanted some surface embellishment that was already existing. And here I have used that piping kind of a thing. And to create that structures. And this flower part, I wanted to rework with the sheer fabric, which I felt will very well go. And then this was my final inspiration board. As you can see, it has Inherit Natia. Now it is concrete that what I'm going to go for. And this was my final color palette. And this was my final fabric. Now over here, initially I was drawing it where again I got another point where I could use with papers and I can mix and match. Over there I didn't have the printer, so what I did, I used Photoshop and I was blending the silhouettes. I was combining them to reform the sketches. Then my final lineup was ready. Then I have illustrated with Photoshop. Then as you can see, the knits, drapes, the embellishments and all has come. So with this, my final collection, I can see that there is a boxy silhouette also and a structural fluidity has come. And these are my technical sketches. For each garment. I've just given a basic technical sheet where I have not included the measurements chart and everything. I've just mentioned
Thank you so much, Suparna. Thank you.
Yeah, wonderful job, Suparna.
Well done.
And, so the next person
Very
is
nice,
Neha from
Suparna.
Gurgaon.
Yes, yeah.
Suparna, can you still hear me?
Yes, ma'am, I can.
So I would really love it if you would put more detailing into your illustrations, because I feel like your garments have such lovely details in it. So even your flat drawings have so much detailing. So maybe just on your illustration, just add more details so you can see all those, stitches and all those, elements that there are in your illustrations also. So with a black pen, you can add those. Okay, there's more
sure.
detail. Thank you.
Sure.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Sneha from INFD Gurgaon. So thank you for giving us this opportunity to actually go through our own work and our ideation that we actually teach. So I also want to thank Karishma actually for reminding me my LCF days. I completely forgot to tell you I'm also from there. So it really reminded me. So yeah, anyways, let's start. So okay. So I wanted to focus while brainstorming on the 90s era, because I felt this was something that I could totally relate to at the moment, especially when if I would brainstorm on a concept that I can't go out and actually find my own primary research, since that constraint was happening. So I thought, let's just connect to memories. So I took the 90s, since I'm a 90s kid. So nostalgia was a big thing for me. And I took storybooks, things like what we learned in school, like the Sherlock Holmes, and I really loved a particular story, that is The Adventure of Dancing Men. And when my mom taught me, I mean, when she was reading this out to me and she saw the page, she said that the dancing man looks like Warli art, and that really kind of fascinated me because I did not know what it was. But yeah, that connection, that something looks so similar but are completely different things, that was something that I really liked. Then I looked into fashion, especially street style was a very big thing in the 90s, especially the OG being Japanese. So I really loved the street style subculture like Lolita, Kawaii, Gyaru. So, and technology, very simple technology at that point of time were floppy disks, CDs, cassettes, all of these things. In games, Minesweeper, all of these things really got those memories back. So after that, I mind mapped and I focused on the things that I want to take ahead. So these were the few things that are circles. So then I took the inspiration pictures. So this is all on technology, a few on 90s aesthetics, Japanese street culture, especially the Lolita, classic Lolita. This one's in that segment. Then the dancing men and the code. So when it comes to trend analysis, oh, I missed a page. Oh, okay, yeah. So trend 1 was power display, trend 2 was modern folk, trend 3 was pastels, trend 4 imperfections. I really saw a lot of these loose ends, unfinished clothing that was happening, whether it was in embroideries or edgings. That really interested me. Whitewash was something that I saw in every designer's collection. There was a part of the collection that was completely white. Trend 6 was recycling. Trend 7 was over the top. So I really focused on this more because I wanted to look into dramatic and bold details and silhouettes. And last one being grandma's doily, that was lace work, cut works, all of these things that we would see in our grandma's tablecloth or curtain linings. So these were some of the trends. Designers that I researched, and a few of them that were in the same pathway. I focused more on Molly Goddard. I think Erdem. So these were a few designers that I focused more on, and Marc Jacobs. So the keywords that I arrived at were quirkiness, dancing men, stories, freedom, rebel, layers, nostalgia, structured yet flowy, rhythmic patterns, colorful and simple technology. So these were the pictures that I've lined up for technology. Again, retro, the 90s feel, aesthetics, prints, Japanese street style, focusing on classic Lolita, and some of Japanese silhouettes that I was looking at, especially Izumi Ake's and Yohji Yamamoto's. Again, the dancing men. So I called it Dancing Away to Nostalgia. That was my collection's name. And the collection showcases a blend of nostalgic memories of the 90s along with the subculture of Japan, highlighting individualism with a maximalist approach. So yeah, the combination depicts a form of prints and silhouettes that are derived from old school technology. And this is just a little bit of like my inspiration board, you would say, or just like what I wanted to focus on. Color story, what I did was I wanted it from my research. I didn't want it to get from outside. So the same pictures that I was focusing on. So I called it the Retrolux palette because this palette focuses more on the retro aesthetic of the storyline. So you'll see the soft, bright and neutral tones from that story. Rebel palette, it comes from the street, the Lolita subculture. So that rebellious nature of not using colors and using only neutral, warm and cool, that was this story. And the lucid palette is something from the objects that I found in my inspiration, which had a dual tone or that transparency feel, that iridescent feel. So this entire palette was transparent. Fabric options, these were a few fabric options. I was not sure what I will narrow down on, but these were a few that I was thinking of moving on with. I played around with a lot of digital printing. So I created a few looking at the objects, just trying out different things. So these were a few that I explored. The next, the silhouettes, I try to keep it as creative as possible. I didn't want to like focus only on creating garments, or like I'm not looking at it in a practical approach. I was just being as creative as possible. So I put in all the objects that I was looking at, all my inspiration pictures, played around on the croquis, and arrived here and there with a few silhouettes, just direct silhouettes, not thinking of how it will actually come out to be as a garment. Again, a few worksheets on how those pictures that I played around with pretty wildly, then converting them into an actual garment if possible. So these are a few just exploration basis. A few more worksheets on how maybe I could come up with a silhouette or like ruffles, layers, all of those things. Then a few sketches, again, all rough sketches of the same idea that I worked on the worksheet. I was just bringing it into a design format. So I think one of my sheet, as you had said, was a little simple. I'd kept it because I wanted it to be completely embroidered or completely printed. I think I removed it, I don't know. But these were a few rough sketches that I played around with. Then the same designs, which I liked the most, I kind of took them further, worked around with them a little more, looking at the designers that I wanted to kind of take inspiration from, and I further, made more silhouettes out of it. Same here, just worked around a few designs that I'd created, kind of mixed and matched things and elements that I really liked and wanted to focus on and create something different. So yeah, a few more that again from previous pages got down, kind of simplified. Now I wanted, after all the exploration, I finally wanted to focus on layers, highlighted overlocking, prints, patchwork, and transparency. And my final color story was the Retrolux color story, with the last bit of lucid tones, because I do have some transparency element as well in my collection. The final fabric board. And this is my lineup. So I'll just go a little ahead to just show what I finalized on. So the prints were these. I just named the prints just so that when I name my ensembles, it'll be easier. So the Dancing Man and the CD, those are the two inspiration for prints. And then 3 embroideries. One is the patching of different denim fabrics, which is all waste fabrics that I will just get and do an overlocking stitching over it, or highlighted thread stitching. The second one again is overlocking stitching on plain fabric, and the other one is the black reel embroidery, again just patched over a fabric. So my lineup is this, where again I'm trying to show as much as the color contrast, patchwork, and prints being as much as exaggerated. So yeah, this is my lineup, and I have them numbered as style numbers, and each ensemble what they are. And yeah, that's my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing that with us.
A wonderful job, Sneha.
Thank you.
So Justine, I think, what do you think? We've got 10 minutes to 4.
See what you
Sucharita, if you're ready.
Yes, ma'am.
have an important thing, then you just give your closing remarks, and we can carry on with the rest of
That'll be great. That'll be great. So at least you can see it, because so I think it's very clear that everyone has their own way of representing anything that we do. So even though everyone had a clear, template, follow this template and put your stuff in, everyone's inspirations came from such a personal place. They came from things that they could relate to, that they could understand, and that's the way it's always going to be with even the students, right? So when you guys are teaching them something, or you're telling them something, or you're showing them a process, people are going to take that process and make it their own. So there's never going to be one exact way or one correct way. So as faculty, as people, looking at other people's work, helping them, guiding them through it. It's our job to really know that you have to allow everyone to live their own vision and live their own way of looking at things, because that's what design is all about. It's all about us talking about who we are and being really personal and honest with how we're representing ourselves. Otherwise, what we're going to do is we're going to have a bunch of students who graduate and everyone's work is going to look similar, or it's going to look extremely inspired by something else and not original. So I think that after working with so many of you guys, I really believe that all of this work is stuff that you guys already do. Maybe somewhere along the way with work, the rat race, the pressures, we kind of tend to forget all this somewhere. So now when you're given the chance to take, the project in your own hands and do whatever you want to do, you guys have really done a really good job. And there's some really interesting things. And this is what we want to see in the students' work also. It's very simple. What you already know, how you guys do it for yourself, how do we translate that to the students, that they're excited, that they are inspired, that they are motivated, that they understand that this is the process. Now, whether if I have to do, like, for example, if I'm saying color, surface, silhouette is very important, right? In my presentation that I sent you guys a template, color comes first, silhouette comes after, and I think surface comes after that. But that's not necessary, right? For some people, in fact, for me as a designer, I work so much with surfaces and color that for me, color, surface is first and silhouette is last. For someone else who's talking more about silhouette, silhouette will come first, color, surface will come later. So what is up and down doesn't matter, but this initial inspiration, spending time to do the inspiration, write your keywords, look at trends to see what's going on, understand what's relevant. How are you making products that are relevant, right? Every student in every college, y'all are not the only college I work with other colleges too. And 90% of the time, the final projects are so futuristic because they think that's the only way. A final design collection, a project will always have like pointed shoulders and crazy stuff like that. I'm not saying that's wrong. That's amazing. If you can do it really well. So for example, even within the 3 presentations we saw today, Sneha had more of those bigger shapes. Siddharth was talking more about movement, fluidity, and they were both correct. Even Suparna had a lot of ruffles and layers and shapes. So no one's wrong in the way they're representing it, but it should make sense to where your inspiration is coming from. It right now seems like a lot of people do work just because that's what they assume is expected out of a final collection. It has to be complicated. We have other groups also, who haven't had a chance to present, other people who have done like really simple, beautiful lines, which are just, inspired by, it's all neutral colors, all whites. And that's also fine. That's absolutely fine. So please understand that this is what you need to convey to the students, that whatever you choose to do is fine. Just create your own identity with it, but follow the steps, right? Follow the process. Follow the fact that you go from A to Z. And I know this bores a lot of people. A lot of people say, oh, this is just, who's going to do so much work? But trust me, you yourself will start to see the difference when you put in the effort and do something. And if you just do something, skipping multiple steps, it's still doable. Trust me, you can make a collection in one day. I'm not debating that. I'm sure you can. Everyone can. But then, is that going to be a unique collection? Are you going to stand out with it, or are you going to blend in with it? So you need to decide what is it that you really want to do. Okay? And please be patient with the students. You have to discuss with them. It's a dialogue. It's not you talking down to them. It's not you telling them, aise hi banana hai. Most often when I go for juries, what students say to me is, ma'am ne bola. Ma'am chose it. Who's ma'am? I don't even know the ma'ams. I don't know who these ma'ams are. I don't know, so if a student is going and telling a potential employer or telling a person in a jury that ma'am chose it, is that what you want them to say? Is that how we want them to talk when they go for their presentations? No, we want them to talk like you talk, like how Siddharth presented, smooth, clean, straightforward, you guys also. So I want you all to really, whatever you would do for yourself to present your work needs to be conveyed to the students. It's as simple as that. So please don't let them use that reason about I like it or ma'am told me. Every product that they have in a jury, in any portfolio, needs to come with a backup conversation. And also think about it. Right now, we just heard 3 presentations. They took at least 10 to 15 minutes each, and they could have gone on longer if we'd allowed them to go on longer, at least another 5 minutes. That means there is that much content to talk about, because every page they had content. They could explain every single thing on that page to you. We didn't even ask them questions. Imagine when you start asking questions. So get them into the habit of presenting, get them into the habit of talking about their work, have conversations at different phases. Is there a question? Okay, someone's cooking. It's fine. Make it a point to have conversations throughout the project. Don't wait for them to only submit it. Have conversations at every stage, how we've been having conversations, exchange notes, and don't tell them that do this. You ask them, what do you think? Listen to what they have to say. Many times it happens to me when I see your presentations without hearing you all, I'm going to assume based on my understanding. Is that fair? I don't think so, right? So it's always better if you're sitting with the students, you're working with them, you've got a smaller class. Here we were like a lot of people, right? So we broke you all up into smaller groups so we could have those conversations. So take advantage of that. Have those conversations with the kids, understand what their point of view was. They may be correct, which you never even thought about. So be open to learning. Be open to accepting that you don't know everything, because none of us know everything. We're always learning with each other, and that's going to make you better. I know I'm a purist. This is how I talk. I sound like, what is this? It's too ideal. But trust me, it works. Like, I've been working in the industry too, and really the times I interact with you guys, when I interact with other students, it really helps me. Not because I get new designs to copy, that's not the reason, but just, you open your mind up. You just open your mind up to how people are thinking, and you're like, how did I not think of that? And that's what's really exciting for me as a teacher, if you may say so. And that's what could be really exciting for you guys too, and I think that will help you all to just grow further through conversation, through dialogue, accepting when you make a mistake, and also amongst yourselves. Please work together. Also we know that there are certain centers that had students who were part of this. I don't remember one person's name in particular, but she came to me very honestly and she said, I don't know how to do this. I just don't know how to do this. And she did it alongside us eventually. Her first submission, I gave her feedback saying, what is this? What is this? What is this? But then she said to me, but I don't know how to do it. And we were like, it's okay. It's okay not to know. So we sat down and we actually did it. And I think she's also submitted something at the end of it. So my point is that anyone can learn at any point. Just give people chances and just really enjoy the process. Okay. And you have to, please, design process is really important. I'm really happy you guys are doing another course about the fundamentals of it, because if anyone feels like any of their fundamentals are a bit like shaky, this is a great time to learn it. And if you guys learn it well, the students are bound to learn it. So if we get you guys to just repractice, and really bring what you have inside you out, getting it across to students will not be a task. And I'm very sure of that. And wait, I had one more note for you guys, is that please also be aware of what's going on around you. Please look around, read about what's going on, who's doing what kind of product, what's happening in the fashion industry, who are the cool new designers, what are they doing, what's happening in just, in the textile industry. Understand, learn, look around. Don't just go to Fashion Week and watch a show and clap and go home. No, try talking to designers. At NIFD, you guys have so many opportunities. Trust me, other students would kill for those opportunities. So please make use of those. So spend your time when you're going to Bombay, Fashion Week is happening, spend your time to do your research, find out which are the shows happening, which ones do you really want to go for. Maybe for you guys, make a project out of it for the, tell them to come back and or illustrate. Make them sit at Fashion Week and tell them illustrate a garment that you guys have seen that you love. Or illustrate two designers' garments together and make a third garment. Just fun activities.
But they can even virtually watch that, Karishma. They can even virtually watch that because all the shows are live. So,
Absolutely.
Those people are not going on.
Absolutely. Whatever it is. I'm just saying, because I know when we're at Fashion Week, there's so many of NIFD students over there that we were like, I wish we had this chance when we were in college, So please make use of it. Now it's online. Do it online. Do these classes. Have these conversations. And really, it's all about clarity. You can have a lot of stuff in your head, but till you don't put it down as keywords, as visual references, as images, trust me that clarity, even if you think there's clarity, it's not clarity. It's something else, right? So when you start to chalk things down, it also for yourself, it helps you clear your mind. How much can we remember, right? So basically, that's all the notes I made for what I had to talk to you guys about. But if you'll have questions, please reach out. And thank you very much for listening to me so patiently again.
Thank you so much. It's been like a pleasure to be and hear you all the time and learn so much. I, in fact, had been there going to the workshops. It gives you so much of information. And I'm happy we've been all able to take, and I speak from all my faculty side that they must have definitely learned something. or probably just the process, because we all make garments, we all design, we have lovely shows. There are Lakme, it is the reflection of the ma'am's work basically. But if you make the students do in this way, in this form, believe me, there would be much more people who would be coming up with their ideas and ideologies to work. And this whole workshop was for that reason, not to test or check on the ability of the faculties individually. It was basically the process which we wanted to put you through. And sometimes we forget, but this is what we need to be doing. So
I
thanks,
just want to add
Karishma.
one more point.
And,
Just one more
I think in
point.
case you're about to leave.
Yeah, just one more point I want to add before I go. I remember I was in one of the centers at some point. I don't remember. We were in Indore, and we had a lot of students, teachers. Remember, Anju, from from all the schools around, and they were showing us portfolios of kids, and we saw
Yeah.
such good work from, I don't remember which center it is now, but it was
the elements of
their
design.
elements of design.
Remember?
I remember. So I remember that embroidery also so clearly right now, and I see a lot of student work, right? So for us to remember that, it must be something special. And this is the first year student who had the most beautiful embroidery skills. Really lovely.
I think it's Sagar.
Ma'am, I think it's Raipur because last year there was
Raipur, yeah, Raipur, yes.
I think it could be Raipur. Some student from Raipur. I think you may be right.
Yes,
It was in
yes,
Indore. We had
Yes, Raipur.
yeah. And what happened is that we
there
were
was one
looking
student who
at
was
it.
willing to the student
No, continue.
was willing to vote, but I have shared the same thing with you also, Dr. Ruchi Agrawal.
See, the problem
Yeah, I
is that,
think so. I'm not sure about the student's name also.
yeah, Karishma, you know what? I was sharing it yesterday also, that when the students come, they come raw, they have their own ideas. And in elements of design, they put such beautiful color combinations, such beautiful prints, embroideries. But over the period of time, they forget that they had so much of creativity in them. They get so shadowed up with the commercialization that they forget. So that's what I said. Elements of design is supposed to be for a long and continued. You have to go back.
I think we lost her. I'm just gonna quickly take on from where what she's talking about is because we had that the student there, we saw one of their projects that they did in the second year, and there was no connection. You would never even realize that same student had such good skills in embroidery. That's because that student didn't move from, oh, this is my skill, let me take my skill and implement it into my design. They went from, this is my skill, great skill, move on. That's not what we need to do. We need to, and that's our job. It's our job when you see, because the student doesn't know any better. So when we see a skill in a student that's so strong, try and really nurture that skill, try and push them to explore that further, to make that better, because the students, each of them will come with their own set of strengths that they have. Yeah, that's the last bit of thing I have to say. Okay, cool, lovely. So I'm going to rush now,
Okay,
but
thanks a lot.
thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'll see you guys later. Okay, bye.
Thank you.
Bye, Karishma.
Bye.
Bye.
So I think we have one more presentation left. So Chitra, if
Yes,
you,
ma'am.
yeah, please
Yeah,
do
ma'am.
that.
Just share. Is it visible?
Yeah, it's visible. Carry on.
Okay. So good afternoon, everyone. So first of all, I'll thank you, everyone, all the mentors, because in this stage, learning means a lot. Because when you were a student, it was like student's life is quite different from current life, and currently learning means it's a lot. So I will not waste time. I'll just proceed to my slide. So is it audible properly, ma'am?
If you could, do maybe speak up a little bit because your volume is very low.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it fine now, ma'am?
It's audible, yeah, but if you could just Speak closer to the mic. That thing, I think that
Okay, fine.
now this is better. Yeah.
Okay. So I'll just start with my project, and the inspiration was a seed. So basically, when we see a seed, it's a basic thing which we can see anywhere. We use it in our households. We use it in our regular days. Even we eat it also. So a seed, which is also like we can understand it's a life. It's a origin. So I have taken a seed as an inspiration, and I have done this brainstorming. And this particular brainstorming has tangible and intangible both elements. Like there are few things like organic growth. These are the things which actually we can visualize, and there are few intangible things also. So this is how I have segregated all the keywords which were there in my mind, and now these are the keywords. So basically, it's the origin. Seed means the origin, a new life. So we can correlate it with the life of anyone, of any human being, any animal, any mammal. So everything. So it's origin. It's a new beginning. And apart from that, there are various stages. Like it starts and it ends. There are different processes like pollination and all this. So structures, and these are the key elements which I wanted to take. There are various mythological stories on where there are seed, there are flower, there are plants. So I have correlated those things also with my project. Next thing is also about the nature. So when we see a seed, obviously it's going to grow up. There is a nature, and it is totally connected with the nature, with the ecosystem. We get oxygen from a tree or plant, so ecosystem. That is also a key point. Now, apart from that, also love, emotions. Emotions are something which is also correlated, because where there is no love, there is no emotion. It will not nurture properly. So that one element is also there. Apart from that, there are various visual and tactile textures. So I have just tried to correlate different textures, which can actually give a very nice presentation. Now, these are the trend analysis. So I have taken the trends from promotion, and these are few trends. The first one is this natural trends, applique, natural inspired, vintage inspired. So basically, my focus was it's simple, and obviously nature inspired. There will be some not very symmetry. It will be very unusual. Now, the remaining trends are this kind of prints, then floral motifs, basic silhouettes, textured surfaces, artistic SOTs, doodle art, contemporary motifs. Then natural dye, organic textiles. So as we all know, gradually we are moving towards like eco-friendly clothes, sustainable clothing we're talking about. So for that, obviously, have to talk like these kind of ethical fabrics, eco-friendly, breathable fabrics because it's summer. Then textured fabric, hand painted printed textiles. So basically, I have focused on this kalamkari textile, which is famous in India. Now the designer research. So I have done a designer research where I have seen few key elements which can be modified and which can be incorporated in my future work. These are the latest designer work. Now, again, back to the inspiration. So basically, it's a story, and it's a new world. It's a kind of a poem. I guess it won't be very boring, so I would like to read it. A new world for a tiny seed. It's a long way to go. The seed gets its identity after it starts growing. With the time, love, and care, the seed is growing up into a beautiful plant like a newborn baby. Slowly, the plant makes an unconditional bonding with soil and nature. Now, the next stage of life is transforming from plant to tree, welcoming new blossoms of flowers. Meanwhile, the tree has many friends like birds, insects, and worms, and these friends help the tree to produce food through pollination. Now, the most awaited fruit is there with the tree, and after a particular period, the ripe fruit will be taken by the needful one. After this stage, again the seed is ready to start a new life as the seed is formed inside the fruit. So basically, this is not story of a seed; it's the story of us also. We also grow up, we also die. Then again, there is a successor who is again there. So it's about the cycle. It's about the story. The story is about the life cycle. Now, these are my keywords which has this life, origin, growth, organic, shelter, microorganism, simplicity, stages, tree of life, love, attachment, prosperity, cycle, fruit, flower, balance, energy. So these are the keywords which I'm focusing on. Now, these are the major inspirations. So you can see the germination of a seed, and there is a balance, and there is a mythological story of Adam and Eve who were like taking an apple. Now, the tree of life, which says about the infant, adult, and the parenthood, all the stages. Now, these are very close view of few elements of seeds and other vegetation. So these are actually gives a very beautiful feeling. Now, these are few very interesting ideas of products in which the concept of seed has been implemented. So this is one of my inspiration from a collection. These are also a kind of have a very graduation of seeds, from a seed to a plant, and then from plant to different vegetation, and plants and other organisms are also involved. This is also a very interesting visual in which if we see a very microscopic view of different leaves or barks or something, so we can see these kind of views there. So the collection name is the Seed Story, as I have explained in the previous one. So it's a concept is about the life cycle and its stages of. Now we move to the design development. So this is my almost final visual on the basis of which I'm going to work for my next phase. These are the color palettes which correlates with my theme in which I'm working, and I'm experimented with these different color palettes. One is very pop, one is neutral, one is a semi-neutral kind of thing. And now during finalizing the kind of surface ornamentation and things, I have created this specific this page to just get a clear image what kind of exactly the prints and what kind of art I exactly want in my collection. So these are my very key surface elements like vegetable block print, pop, all over print, scribble art, random splash print, doodle art, kalamkari, ajrak printed, oversized motifs, Indian block printing. So it's not like I'm going to use all of them, but maybe I'll filter some of them and I'll proceed in my next page. So the same with the surface ornamentation, Katha stitch, multicolor filling embroideries, tone on tone beadwork, experimenting with beads, multicolor vibrant patches, 3D artistry. These are the few key surface ornamentation I would like to keep in my collection. Now for the fabric, fabrics are knitted fabric, organic cotton muslin, chambray linen, cotton dobby voile, jute fabric as a trim, not as a fabric, slub texture, khadi. Now these are the key detailing which I have filtered. So tone on tone embroidery, loop closure, gradation pattern, tapestry silhouette, 3D artistry, multicolor SOT, multidimensional pattern sleeve, print on print, Angarakha closure, basic oversized silhouette, and vintage Shakti. So now for the next step, I have again for like a basic understanding, I have done a I have taken 4 images in which what exactly the main things I want to keep in my designs. Those are there. So the first one is I want to see a layering. There will be some gradation. There will be texture, and definitely there will be balancing. Now, before I proceed to my next slide, so it is so after this stage there is a rough sketch and which talks about like what exactly our collection will be. So this so first of all, the collection is very simple. It's because the seed is a very simple thing. It has very different types of layering and all. So this is a very simple collection, and the inspirations are also correlated to it. So you can see the correlated things there. Now in the same way, like the leaf pattern, the kind of this leaf is also incorporated in the design also. So these are the like inspiration as well as the designs along with that. So this is a pea and this is a garment which is inspired from this pea and this mixed match of two different elements. Now, after I have filtered this 6 garments, which I would like to proceed for my next step. Now, these are the flat sketches, which is digitally done, and with all the design, I have described few lines so that it's easy to understand. Like for design 1, this is ensemble consists of 2 garments, inner dress and upper shrug, 3-piece silhouette, 3D floral artistry on shoulder strap, a black closure with zipper. On some can be worn separately. So in the same way, like for the second also, the ensemble consists of 2 garments, inner short knee length dress and an upper strap, 3-piece silhouette, leaf shape fabric manipulation on upper bust of inner dress, black closure with zipper. On some can be worn separately. So this is how I have mentioned in all the designs. So I'm not going to read all of them. I'll just move to the next step. So these are the remaining 3 designs. So now the finalizing my ideas. Okay. So this is the basic final theme board, inspiration board, and basically the theme is about the seed story. So this is the left side. There is a image which is already painted, and this is a hand. This is a hand of the nature. So the nature is painting the black and white images, and it's welcoming these life to the nature. So basic my theme is that. So the nature is painting the seed to grow and see the beautiful world. So this is my concept. This is my color palette. So I have mentioned all the color name and along with P6 number also. So these are the color palettes. So the final fabrics, khadi, chambray, linen, cotton dobby, Swiss dobby, chambray, tone on tone, single jersey fabric, kalamkari voile, and single jersey knit, that is the slub. So for the variation one, I have done a color variation. So that is a colorway. So the final 6 designs, I have done a colorway this way. Like for design 1, I have 3 variations. For design 2, I have 3 variations. In the same way, I have done it in a different variation according to the color palette. So for design 3 also, I have done 3 color variations and 4 also like this. So this is also like for my design 5 and design 6. So the colorways are there. So for the next step, what I have done, I have chosen one from each of the designs from the 3 colorways, which was suitable for the entire collection, and this is the entire consolidated collection. So it has very contrast color combination at there in my color palette also. Now surface ornamentation. So this is like a virtual surface ornamentation. These are not really handmade. So these are the kind of motifs and works which will be there, like applet, layered flower, quilted leaf, applique embroidery, layered floral with fabric manipulation. There are different all over prints are there. Shaded fabric manipulation with knits and wovens, katha stitch, and all over prints. So these are the SOPs. So now for a final design, this is the actual design, that is the inner layer, this is the outer layer, and this is the back view. So this is the entire look of the garment one. So this is the detailing, that is the ensemble can be worn separately. So what is there is a trapeze, the silhouette, it's a knee length print, paneling with embroidered and wavy bottom at hem, quilted link stitch at shoulder, back closure with invisible zipper. In the same way, for upper shrug, the upper one, there is trapeze silhouette, 3D floral artistry on shoulder, curvy front top. So these are the like the details along with the style number, which was like very mandatory for us. So in the same way, I've done the second one also with the front from for the like the inner view and the outer view, as well as the back view also. The third dress also, as there is the ensemble has only one garment, so it has only one front and one back. So these are the key detailings for that, along with the style number. Now this is also the fourth garment, along with like the back view, the front view, and the other details like placement, embroidery at front yoke, black closure at zip, a front yoke with keyhole neckline and closure, oval shaped fabric manipulation on both sides, stylized pleating towards side seam, elongated balloon silhouette. So these are the keywords for this garment. This is the fifth garment, which is a trapeze silhouette, because trapeze silhouette is something which I have taken from the focus also. So the stylized stuck at princess line, shaded fabric manipulation at center front, stylized trapeze neckline, and a back zipper closure. So you can see like the layering, though the concept was, it's not exactly layering, but there is a virtual layering which is exactly coming. Now this is the sixth garment, which is a knee-length garment with all the detailings. Like there is some fabric artistry also. There are some embroideries also. There is a fabric manipulation. There is katha embroidery. So these are how I have mentioned. Now this is my final collection with all the garments, which I have showed it in the previous slide. This is my final collection.
So this is the technical sheet, that is a tech pack. So basically I have tried to incorporate most of the stuffs to be there in this technical sheet, because as we have not actually worked on a real fabric or real process, so it was a bit difficult, but tried to manage done this virtual tech pack also. So the client is this is an imaginary client, so there is no client like that. So this is a flat sketch of front and back with black and white, and the same way I have done the colorful also. And there is this detailing also, where there is a wash care label is there, paneling is there, size labels are there, strap detailings, buttonholes, what are the quilting and what kind of work can be done. So these are the surface ornamentations which I have mentioned over here. And down there is swing machine details. So that is like SNLS and overlock machines. That is very common machines which are used for doing that. And these are the fabrics. So along with the color, I have mentioned the fabrics also. So for this, but in the same way, I've done this tech pack of the second garment also. So these are the detailings. So this is the SO detailing, swing machine detailings are there, fabric detailings are there. This is an Angrakha pattern dress, so the detailings are over here. This is for the garment. The fifth one. And then the sixth on. So there are 6 garments with the check. The next cost. So I have done a costing also, basically mentioning the previous detailings which I have mentioned in the tech pack, and along with that, I've done a costing and I have incorporated 2 stuffs like that is material cost and process cost, and along with that, I've added miscellaneous and packing cost. So basically, this cost sheet is not very like commercial costly. This is just for the manufacturing person. So if like a person is selling, so the kind of profit and everything that is not included
I'm
in
really
this.
sorry
So
to
this
cut you short, but I think we're running out of time. It was a
6
wonderful presentation.
along
You've
with
gone on.
how much consumption there will be what shrinkage, and then cost and everything.
Yeah, so let's make it short,
And this
Suchitra, in
also
case
we
we
have
have
Chitra,
some
I think
time.
you had a
watching what
very
kind of
detailed
so there will be on softener wash and
lovely presentation from you. And could you just stop sharing your screen, please? So Chitra, if you could stop sharing your screen, so yeah, we can see everyone. Palaveen, if you could, remove the screen sharing option, please.
now I'm not able to hear.
Okay, so Palaveen, if you could hear me, could you stop the screen sharing? So Chitra's screen, can you close it off? Yeah.
Has started. Palveen's screen started.
Yeah, it's Palaveen. So everyone's having a bit of a technical issue, huh? Chalo, finally we've come to the end of the presentations, and it's lovely to see the various work that people have done, and what you can make out from the work is how much is the variation in the same brief that we had given. The brief was the same for everyone, and everyone has come up with such diverse work. So the same needs to be visible from your students also. Mm. Okay, so Anjuman, which you would like to, give a closing statement or something? Anjuman, can you hear us? Yeah, there's a issue with your network, I think. It's not.
Yeah. So you take over, Jasween.
Okay. So we were just mentioning that, everyone's done a wonderful job, and we hope to do something similar. Obviously, we'll be doing something similar in the years to come. But last time Anju ma'am had mentioned that we are working on a new workshop for teachers, and that's basically a foundation course. And that would be a longer workshop in the sense that would be more of us teaching you rather than you doing a project work. This one was all about you doing a particular project which we had given you guidelines for. But the next one, which is on foundation, we will be taking you step by step as to what exactly we want you to teach the students for foundation, and what kind of assignments should be there, what are we trying to achieve by doing that, and why is the foundation so important. So that is what we'll be covering. We'll let you know the details about that workshop pretty soon. But the only thing is that workshop is, we have very limited number of seats available. We only have 25 people who can attend that workshop, because we are restricted by the amount of time that the person can spend. So we would want you to send in your names, and then we can choose from that. So Anjumam, I think your connection seems to be better. If you want to say something.
Jasween, they need to be writing as to why they want to do, because this is going to be a little serious, and you don't have the power to leave the session between. It's not that कि you will say कि मैं बस check कर रही हूँ, अगर अच्छा लगे तो करूँगी. फिर then it's not like your option to leave. It will be our option whether you want to leave or not leave. All right. So considering, thinking, if you want to actually take in, and it would be twice a week. And I think Jasween, am I right? Twice a week?
Oh, it will be three days a week.
For 4 months.
So that's it's a good amount of time. So you need to commit to that you do have that much time available, and obviously with the amount of time being spent, the amount of work is also going to increase. So you need to be prepared for that.
Anju ma'am,
And believe me, if you do that, it's going to be good for you, because there will be a lot of learning, and the person who is going to be teaching us is from NID, and he does foundation course. So in case he does the foundation art course for a lot of institutes. So it would be a privilege. But again, if you want to join that course, you have to write a mail to us as why you want to do it, and it will be our prerogative as to who we give, and based on the want to do of a teacher. It's like it won't be a force from us, but in case you're keen to do, you could just send a mail to the academics, and they will pick up those 25, and then it'll be between interiors and fashion, because it's a combined course. All right?
ma'am, I just wanted to ask one thing.
Yes, Sandra, carry on.
Ma'am, yesterday ma'am said that we would have to add that our interest, exactly what category we would like to.
No, there's no category. I think there was some misunderstanding, because I received a message from Shilpa also that you were asking about the category. There is no category as such. It's a combined workshop for both the fashion and the interior faculty members, and everyone will be doing the same thing. So there is no category as such.
Then what do we have to mention in the mail?
You just need to mention
why are you
interested in. It's kind of a commitment from you that you will be committed to the workshop. You will be spending and that much of time and effort, and later on you should be saying okay, I made a mistake, मैंने तो ऐसे join कर लिया था, ऐसा वैसा हो गया था. Because if we are making an effort, we want some kind of long-term commitment from you also. Right?
Yes,
Ma'am, Siddharth has a question.
Yeah, Jasmine, I wanted to ask that should we send a mail now, or should we wait for a mail to first be floated from the corporate academies?
What do you say, Anju ma'am? Because we still need to finalize the details. We haven't worked on
those. You could send it now.
Okay.
You could send it now. You could send it now.
Okay. Thank you.
We'll let you know the exact details of when the workshop is going to start, how long it is going to be, and what all you are supposed to be doing. Maybe in a couple of weeks. It will take us that much time at least. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Ma'am, this is to be sent on individual basis, because
no, it has to come from the center. It has to come from the center. Yeah.
Okay.
So anybody else who has any kind of query?
See, all we want is that it should be like you should.
Anju ma'am,
there's too much of internet problem, I think.
Yeah, there is something really wrong.
What I was saying is that there's a lot of connection problem.
क्या कह रहे हो?
There's internet problem, so आप ही continue करो, Jasmine.
अच्छा. So I'm just saying कि it's a nice feeling कि हम इंडिया में इतना बुरे कनेक्शन नहीं है, ऑस्ट्रेलिया में भी बुरे कनेक्शन है. So it's very heartening कि we are as good as a first world country in those terms. अच्छा. So as I was saying, किसी को कुछ share करना हो, we've had this long workshop. Somebody who wants to share their experience, whatever they've learned, or they want to express their dissatisfaction, whatever you want to say, most welcome. Everybody is happy with the workshop? किसी को कुछ रह गया हो, कुछ करना था और यार आप लोगों ने हमको ये
hello. Yeah, ma'am, I want to ask about the timing. What will be the timing for the workshop?
As I said, we are still working out on the details. The timings most probably will not clash with your classes. We will take care of that so that the teachers do not have to sacrifice their classwork or taking of their classes with the students to attend these classes. We'll take care of that.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
So anybody who has
we're done with this workshop. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.